Hey guys, I'm here today to talk to you about Elysium. Now, we all know that Neil Blomkamp is all famous for his last movie, District 9, which is a big hitter, hit it out the ballpark. And now we're here today to see if Elysium really lives up to the last movie. Psst, little do a lot of people know, District 9 was a result due to the Halo movie falling apart. More on that later. So after doing a lot of looking up on this movie, like looking up interviews and studying the behind the scenes of this movie, I was so psyched and ecstatic to see this movie. And I finally saw it on premiere night with a few of my friends. And now here's what I have to say about it. Now let me just start off by saying I love this movie. Like, I really do. It's one of my favorites now. So in the world of Elysium, there are two different zones, two different populations of people. There are the poor, which live on this overridden and dying earth, and then there are the rich, who of course live on this ring world, oddly enough designed like Halo, that floats in the orbit of Earth. I thought the plotline for Elysium was pretty good. It's not necessarily something we haven't seen before, but given the new world that it's been put into, and given the vision that Neil Blomkamp has put on, it's a very interesting little spin. Now our main character, Max, he's always dreamed of going to Elysium with his friend Frey ever since he was a little kid. But as he gets older, things don't play out that way. He kind of goes in off the deep end, and things don't turn out so well for him. And one of my favorite characters ever is like one of the coolest bad guys I've seen in a long time, Agent Kruger. This guy is insane. You just gotta see him to believe him. The acting in the movie is great. It is really great acting from everybody. And Delacour, Jodie Foster, she does an amazing job with that. Then you notice pretty much almost everybody in the movie has an accent, and then that just further gives a feeling that Earth no longer has specific countries or whatever, and it's run down that much to the point where everyone kind of just, their accents change somehow. It kind of further gives that, you know what I'm talking about. But she does a great job of playing a villain who wants everything her way and will go beyond limits to get what she wants. Activate Kruger. And pretty much all the characters are great. I mean, there are a lot of movies where, say, the main character has this really close friend, maybe even his best friend, but then a lot of times you don't really feel that connection. You don't really feel like they're really that great friends. You feel like they're just people who know each other, and they're just scripted to be best friends. But in this case, you actually do feel a lot of the connections between certain characters, which is a really good thing. Even if it's a side character, or if it's a character that's not even that important, there's never really a character who's just there for the looks of it. No, pretty much each character has a motive, has something to do, you know? I like that. Now it's no longer just like, oh yeah, you guys just stand over there and yeah, look good. No, it's more like, you guys over there, I want you to do this, I want you to do that, I want you to pretend you're doing that. There we go. You're all doing something now. But you know, that's a lot better than the alternative. Now the scripting, you can tell Neil Blomkamp and his wife did some really good thinking, and when I was reading into the movie before the movie actually came out, I read that, you know, they didn't kind of just write a script and then just work everything from the script. No, they created this huge world, and then they kind of wrote a script within this world. I don't really see this as a flaw, but I can see why a lot of audiences wouldn't really like this. Since the script is written within this world, you'll notice there's a lot of things going on within the movie Elysium that is never fully explained. They kind of just throw it at you and just be like, hey, here's this. And then you're just like, oh, I don't know what this is, but I'll just run with it. There's a lot of that in Elysium. That's how a lot of sci-fi movies are when they have their own world. It's just kind of like I guess you gotta read up on it and study it to really get to learn and get to know the world of it before fully understanding the movie. But then the other thing is, I'm not even sure if Elysium will have anything that lets me read up on it and let me get into the world. That kind of leads into what I'm about to say next. There are three main gripes I have about this movie. I love this movie so much, but there are three things that really bother me about this movie. Number one of the biggest things that bothered me throughout the whole movie was the jump cuts in the shaky cam. I mean, come on. I mean, okay, it works sometimes it works, but then when it comes to a big fight scene where you gotta see everything that's happening, the camera has no need for moving around. I would like for the camera to actually be smoother so I can actually see what's happening. Come on, this fight takes place within like 5 square feet. The camera has no need for going over here. You know, the jump cuts, the shaky cam, it's insane. Number 2. This one isn't really a big one, it's just that it was something that kind of occurred to me. The world of Elysium is so big and there's so much going on in it that's unexplained that, I don't know, it feels like the movie is really small and condensed compared to the overall world that surrounds it. It didn't feel like the movie was big enough to encompass the overall gravity of what this world really is. But that was just one, that's a personal kind of gripe. I'm not sure how many other people feel that way. Number 3! The last one. Okay, this one is a bit of a spoiler. If you don't want the ending of the movie or whatever to be spoiled for you, well then I suggest you skip on ahead to where the annotation tells you to skip ahead to. Here we go. In the final fight between Max and Kruger, you notice when they're fighting, they're evenly matched, which makes no sense to me. Max is an untrained hood rat from Earth who has this super past decade armor on, and then he's fighting against this psychotic, highly trained mercenary with this super new upgraded and latest technology mech suit, and somehow they're evenly matched. What? They should not be evenly matched. I mean, watching through the movie, I see a lot of different things in the movie that didn't really bother me. I found them interesting, but I could see why a lot of other people wouldn't like them. Then I noticed that the movie does seem to move slowly at times, which a lot of people disliked. They disliked that it moved so slowly at times, but me personally, I didn't mind that. I mean, yeah, it did occur to me. I did think this is moving a little slower than usual, but I didn't really mind it. It didn't really bother me because I'm thinking, you know, I would like to have some time to really consume everything that's really happening in the movie, and then before they just throw us out into the fire again. A lot of people were so-and-so about the movie Elysium. Me personally, as you probably know already by now, I love the movie.
See, I heard something move, so I thought you were in perfect condition. Only 11 minutes left.
Alright, so as I was saying, my overall verdict on Elysium is, on a scale of 1 to 10, let's see. The numbers haven't really been too friendly for Elysium lately, as I've seen. I feel like it offers more than a lot of people actually realize. I'll give it a 7.8. I feel comfortable with that. I mean, I would give it an 8, but it feels like I'm stretching it too far if I do. And I want to give it a 7, but it feels like I'm not appreciating it enough to do that. So, I'll give it a 7.8. Yes, Elysium is a bit of a flawed movie, and a lot of the flaws aren't really things that are done wrong, it's just things that depend on the way you look at them, and it just depends on your opinion, like whether or not you like that they did that, whether or not you're okay with the way they went about that. I'm a very open-minded guy. I'm very cool with a lot of things they did. There's just a few things, like what I've already mentioned before, that kind of bugged me, but they never bugged me so much to the point where I disliked the movie in any way. It was just, I just kind of somewhat felt mindful of those things. So there you have it. That's my overall short and quick, straight to the point review of Elysium. And do I recommend you to see it? Hell yes. Everybody, if you love sci-fi, if you love action, if you love Neil Blomkamp, if you want to go out there, see some vicious, raw violence, or just a really cool storyline to be told, and if you just want to have a cool experience, go see Elysium right now, trust me. Even with the flaws I mentioned, just keep an open mind, alright? Just keep an open mind. And I am aware that this movie may seem a little overhyped, but you know, that's just what happens. When a movie gets overhyped, people set their expectations way higher than the movie actually is, and then they go there and get disappointed. So I'm telling you right now, don't set your expectations sky high, even though Elysium's in the orbit of Earth. Just stay open-minded and stay humble about what you're expecting, and just go in and just have a good time, alright? And you'll enjoy the movie.
Hey there.
I almost forgot to tell you guys about the music of the movie. The music composer of the movie is Ryan Amon, which from what I understand, he's sort of a newcomer to scoring full-length films in that he's used to scoring trailer music actually. So if you guys are into the epic music that you hear in movie trailers, I think you should check this out. Like, now. Like, go to the store. Get on that. If you have any questions or have anything else you want me to review, just post it down in the comments below. Give this a like and maybe even subscribe if you will, if you want to see more videos like these, even better, in the future. Peace out.